This is Oscar Wright again, and I'm in my neighborhood here in Rome, in Prati, near the Vatican. And I'm speaking with a dear friend of mine. He owns a very popular gelateria, an ice cream shop, a typical legendary Italian ice cream shop. His name is Massimo, I call him Max. And it's interesting to get his point of view of what's going on with this corona, with this COVID. Things are very depressed here in Italy. He's a businessman. He's invested tons of money on these things, and he's resilient. He talks to me about a hope and strength, and here he is. Max, talk to us. Tell me about this. Tell me what's going on with.
We have at least 70% of tourists in less in Rome, so we are trying to get out of these big troubles, and it's changed a little bit because we started with 90%. When we open again after the lockdown, it was 90% of tourists less in Rome.
90% less.
90%, yes, of course. So it was difficult because you don't need of all the employees for that kind of work that you're going to do. So we have to cut many hours, and some
employees
lost their job. So that's what happened.
I know you've told me, Max told me a little bit about how he has managed to renegotiate things to make things to be able to survive. And Max, do you want to talk a little bit about your rents and how you managed to negotiate? Is that possible to talk about
we
this?
We had to contract with of the rent of the store because we pay the rent to the owner. And so we had to contract. We could cut 50% of the rent. It was but because he's a nice person and we are good clients. But not every time happen what happened to me. Many times I know that some people they didn't cut the
refused to cut the rent.
Refused to cut the rent. And so the problem is that you have a high rent for a store that doesn't worth that money. So we were a little bit lucky because at the end 50% we are able to get out from.
And you were able to do that for a few months, for a year or something. Yeah.
Till March.
Till March.
Of the next year.
Yes. And you have to know that is what many of the merchants here are doing who rent these spaces, and this is a very high rent area. Some, as he has said, some owners have refused to lower the rents. And they've closed shop. So another thing about Max that I know, he treats his employees very well. He pays, I think, probably, 15% above the norm that people pay. He doesn't change employees. His employees are very loyal to him. And anyways, tell me about your employees,
Our
Max.
employees are like a big family. So we try. When we started, it was 8 years ago. We started with the guys. 90% of them are still with us because it's a big family. We are artisans. We love what we do, even if it's an art job, because with the artisan use his hands, to work. And so it's an art work. You have to study and you have to make the things by yourself. So
well, you have to know that he as I said, gelateria. He makes the legendary Italian ice cream, and he is an artisan about it. He's very serious about it, and he trains his employees. His ice cream, by the way, it's called Lemongrass is the name of these gelaterias. If you're in Rome, give it a try. Go in and say hello to him. And Max, what is your what is your projection about the future here in Italy? What do you think?
The future. I hope we're gonna get out next year from this emergency that hits the entire world.
Yeah.
So for March of the next year, we're trying to get out and see to open another store. Obviously, when you are an artisan, you have to do training where you study the ingredients, how to put together everything, the recipes, and how to do it in the best way, organic way. So we're trying to open another store. It was in program for this year, obviously.
Obviously, you've had to como se dice, remandare, to postpone the opening of things. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, do you think maybe this recession will last for another year? Do you think? Maybe more. Who knows? Yeah.
I hope for the next spring.
Next spring, things will pick up again.
We start.
Yeah.
We're going to start.
Yeah. Well, and as you heard Max say, I know speaking to Italians here, I think many are very, very upset and very discouraged about things. I mean, things were already not well in Italy economically.
It was already a hard part of our economy in Italy. So at the end, this emergency was something that made the things more hard than how it was.
Well, I think that one of the positive things that will come of this, hopefully, is that there were serious changes that needed to be made in the Italian economy and indeed in the Italian society, and maybe this crisis will force that to happen. So, anyways, conversation with my great friend here, Max. As I said, lemongrass is the name. If you're here in Italy, here in Rome, come and try some of this. Say goodbye, Max.
We wait you anytime you want. We are here, and is the center of the Vatican.
Yes, near the Vatican.
So
near the Vatican.
We always make the clients make them an ice cream testing before to get a cup
right, you
or
can
cone.
taste. Yes.
You can
How
taste,
many flavors do you have in your?
The average is 24, 25,
24, my
but
God.
not so many because we do always fresh. fresh
What do you? Is
every
there
morning.
which flavor is the most popular? Do you think, or the 2-3 flavors?
Unfortunately, the pistachio from Sicily, from Bronte, the hazelnut from North Italy, which are the most expensive ingredient that we buy.
Funny you should mention that. That is my favorite gelato, the pistachio. So anyways, Oscar Wright in Rome. Talk to you later.